let's jump into it and talk a little bit about this. I'm sure someone actually called you. They told you about how amazing BitLocity was. They told you had to see it. Maybe they sent some one of our compensation plan videos to you, or one of our teaser videos, or they start telling you some incredible statistics about what's been happening in the Bitcoin space or with blockchain. And maybe in your brain right now, it's kind of all crashing into each other. You don't really know how to make sense of it all. You just know that something exciting is happening. So my job tonight is really simple. It's going to be to kind of organize some of those thoughts for you, give you a much clearer picture on what's happening here, so that at the conclusion of this presentation, you should be able to make an informed decision if the BitLocity community is something that you want to be a part of. And I'll tell you, it all starts here, guys. It all starts with this unique business initiative that was really driven around an unassailable fact of what was about to happen worldwide. And what I'm talking about here is not about any particular city or state or country even. And that's why you notice that at the top of this, there was introductions from people all over the world. This is a global thing that is happening. And that thing is this. It's that, right now, blockchain technology is set up to literally add $1.76 trillion to the global GDP over the next 10 years. If you took a look at that video that we showed right before this presentation, they talked about it. They said this is the most significant invention since the invention of the internet, and it promises to have the same type of effect on people's lives. And for those of you who just don't quite understand the power of the blockchain, guess what? You're in the majority. Most people just have no clue just what's happening with the blockchain, why it's so important, why it's so significant. And unfortunately, like most massive transfers of wealth, like most major opportunities, by the time the masses really hear about it, the true opportunity has always passed by. So what we did at BitLocity was, it was developed by a group of heart-centric entrepreneurs that simply believe that, hey, this is going to be like every other time, right? The majority of the people in the world will not be in position to truly capitalize on this coming tsunami of wealth. Without question, when you're talking about $1.76 trillion, there's going to be a huge, massive amount of millionaires and billionaires that are going to be created just over the next 10 years because they're in position to capitalize off of all this growth and all this shift of wealth that's going to happen from blockchain technology. But most people, meaning the majority of us, meaning the majority of the people that are on this webinar right now, and the majority of the people that they are going to miss it. So what BitLocity was developed to do was provide two critical platforms. Platform number one, a world-class educational platform, so that the people who decide to actually join our community could recognize and understand the future blockchain opportunities before the masses of people who don't join, right? And then the other thing was this, the premier peer-to-peer crowdfunding platform developed to provide the people with the capital they would need to engage in those opportunities. After all, we realized something, and I'm sure you would agree, that only with the right knowledge one without the other is not going to help you, but the right knowledge and the right level of personal capital will you ever truly be prepared to move at the speed of success. And you're going to hear us talk about that a lot. It's our motto, moving at the speed of success, because in this new digital age, right, you got to think faster and you have to act faster. It is not going to slow down just because you want to move slow, just because you don't understand it, just because you think it's going too fast. It's going to go faster and faster and faster. And only by accelerating yourself to the speed of success can you ever truly catch up and be in position to be successful. Now, I know when I talk about blockchain, a lot of people are you just don't get it, right? I mean, at a surface, it's a decentralized distributed ledger that records the ownership and authenticity of a digital asset. It's secure, it's transparent, and it's unhackable. But what it really is it's a way for you to take very sensitive information, to store it, and then to transfer it in a very secure nature. And that might not sound like a big deal, but it's set up to revolutionize the way that information is taken, stored, and transferred in the world. It's going to change just about every single industry that you can think of. Therefore, it's going to create this massive wave of wealth. Now, most people, their only introduction to blockchain technology is cryptocurrency, right? I mean, it's been in the news, right? They're talking about it on all the major media stations. It's all over the internet. Everybody's talking about crypto. But cryptocurrency is to the blockchain what email is to the internet, right? I mean, at the end of the day, of all the people that are on the internet, with all the power that the internet has, the vast majority of those people, they're still just using the internet to send and receive emails, right? Which sounds crazy, right? When you think about all the things you can do with the internet, with e-commerce, e-commerce, with social media, all these different things, still the vast majority of people, they haven't caught up yet. They're just using it to send and check emails. Well, if this is crypto up here, this is the blockchain down here, this massive, the bigger part of the iceberg that's below the surface that you can't see, but this is the one that's going to do all of the shifting. This is the one that's going to create the massive wave of wealth. However, when you talk about crypto, a lot of people have asked us, why did you guys choose to focus on Bitcoin accumulation? What was the appeal of Bitcoin? And let's think about this for a moment. If you really want to think about it logically, when you talk about money and you look at how we've evolved from, what was bartering to gold to metal coins, right? Then to paper money to credit. And now this new evolution going on to cryptocurrency, you start to understand what's happening, right? I mean, most people right now are currently dealing with paper money and credit. We don't have enough of this, and we've overused this, right? So people find themselves in deep debt. But now we're actually evolving to this whole new form of money, like the video said, the new money, which is cryptocurrency. And the people that are on top of this early, those people, many of them have already gotten wealthy, and they're going to continue to get wealthier. But for those of you who didn't get it, for those of you who are still trying to figure it out, but you're on this webinar right now, there is a massive opportunity coming down the pike for you to still get incredibly wealthy based off of what's happening with this shift to digital currency. And within digital currency, without question, everybody will tell you Bitcoin is king. In fact, if 10 years ago you decided that, hey, listen, I wanted to, I had $500 and I want to do something with my $500 that makes sense. I could just go blow it like all my friends are doing, or I could do something that makes sense. You could have had some options, right? You could have done the real sensible choice, which is maybe go put your $500 into gold. And if you had done that, it would have been a good choice, because over 10 years from, the beginning of 2010 to the end of 2020, your $500, the value of it would have gone up by 30%. That's pretty good return. Now, on the other hand, you might have said, hey, I'm a little bit riskier maybe. So I'm going to go do what I hear a lot of people are doing, especially back in 2010, is they might want to go put the $500 into the stock market. And if you had done that, guess what? It would have been a good choice if you would have kept it there for 10 years, because just with the results of the S&P 500 over 10 years, that $500 would have been worth $1,850. So almost triple what you would have done here if you had actually placed it with gold. But if you had taken that $500 and purchased $500 worth of Bitcoin back in 2010, that would have been a superb decision, because, guys, think about it for a moment. Back in 2010, Bitcoin was worth 0.003. So 0.3 of 1 penny, not even worth a penny. 0.3 of 1 penny, but it continued to grow and grow and grow. And once you got to the last piece, the last third, if you will, of 2020, it started going crazy. 10,000 and 11,000 and 16,000 and 19,000. And actually, ironically enough, by the end of 2020, Bitcoin was at about $30,000 a coin. Even at that 19,000, right at the beginning of December, which is when we actually put this together, even if you had gotten it then, if you'd gotten it back in 2010 and decided to actually sell it then, that Bitcoin that you purchased, remember, $500 worth of Bitcoin back in 2010 at the $19,000 price would have been $3.1 billion that you would have accumulated from $500 over 10 years. Sounds insane. But Bitcoin is the #1 producing asset in the entire world over the past 10 years. Nothing has increased in value like Bitcoin over the past 10 years. And in case you think that you missed it and you said, wow, I wish I could go back in a time machine 10 years ago, think again. Many of the people who get paid big time money to really actually look at this and forecast, the same people who forecast that Bitcoin would hit or exceed $20,000 by the end of 2020, those same people were predicting that it would also hit or exceed $200,000 by the end of 2021. But now many of them have come back and said, you know what? Based off of what's happening in society right now, $200,000 is now considered conservative. Now, some of them are saying 300,000. I've seen as high as 400,000 to 500,000 just by the end of 2021. So in 1 year from now, something that you could still actually get into for $30,000 in that range, right? And by the way, you can purchase pieces of Bitcoin. You don't need $30,000 to get a Bitcoin, but just that, and when it's worth that value, could be worth 10 or 15 times as much in just 1 year, right? If that's not enough proof for you, think about this. All of Bitcoin is going mainstream. When you see companies like Microsoft and PayPal and BMW and MasterCard, when they're all getting involved in Bitcoin, they're all saying, hey, we'll accept Bitcoin as forms of payment, right? When you start looking around the world, look around your city, and you see in all major cities now, at retail stores, pharmacy chains, at airports, you're starting to see these Bitcoin ATMs everywhere. It should start to click in your brain. The banking industry is now spending hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars to build this massive infrastructure around Bitcoin. You think they're doing it because they think it's a fad that's going to disappear tomorrow? Or do you think they're doing it because they are ahead of that evolution of money? They wanted to get ahead of paper money for the distribution of it. They wanted to be ahead of credit cards, to be able to charge fees on the credit cards. And now they want to get ahead of this digital money because they realize that even though it's decentralized, even though it's controlled by no one, they can still get paid for the transfer of it from person to person. So they're trying to basically build an infrastructure around it. That's because they know that it's here to stay and it's not going anywhere ever. Now, if any of that I just said is slightly confusing to you, or you want more clarity, guess what? You're in exactly the right place at the right time, because that's what BitLocity is all about. You see, if you decide to actually become a part of this community, you're going to get access to the BitLocity Academy. And it's going to be an online video training platform like nothing you've ever seen before. We're going to teach you everything from soup to nuts. What is blockchain? How will the technology change the world? What is cryptocurrency, and why is it here to stay? Why is it not a fad, but it's a new trend and a new direction? What is crypto mining? Some of you may have heard about that, right? How does that work? Is there money to be made there? Could I be involved in it? Did I miss that opportunity? What is crypto trading, right? Etc. These are just the basics, but we're going to build and build and build that platform. We're going to continue to do so, and you're going to be in position when you're done going through our program. You will be in position to do something that most people in the world will not be able to do, which is recognize these massive, massive shifts that are going to come from blockchain technology, so you can now position yourself in front of them to benefit and not just participate. Remember, there's always two sides of the coin. There's the consumer side and there's the profit side. On the consumer side, you spend money, but on the profit side, you make money. And we want to put you on the profit side of the coin, which is exactly what this knowledge is going to do for you. Now, this other thing I want to tell you, just to address it, a lot of people have said to us, well, hey, if you're going to do this, I've seen some things like this, but maybe not as good as this, but you got to go with smart contracts, right? So for those of you, again, who don't understand smart contracts, let me just tell you, you got your traditional contract where it's two people making a deal. They got to go get a contract together, but then they need a third party, a bank, a real estate office, et cetera, to help them execute it. And then there's these new things called smart contracts that you can do on the blockchain, where you can literally eliminate the third party, because now the coding is simply done on this super secure platform that says, hey, if this happens, then that happens. There's nobody that can change the mind. There's no middleman. There's nothing getting screwed up. It's going to get executed perfectly every single time because it's coded. And let's face it, smart contracts have a lot of pros to them. They're 100% transparent, so everybody can see exactly what's going on. It's peer-to-peer. So when you're dealing with payments of cryptocurrency, it's going from my wallet directly to your wallet. No middleman taking it, holding it back, peeling off pieces of it, etc. It's peer-to-peer. It's on the blockchain. And we already talked about how secure, it's unhackable, etc. And it's completely decentralized. Those are awesome features that we loved. And when the developers looked at creating this, they said, we love all of those things. But they were honest enough to say there are some cons to the smart contracts as well. Sometimes the fees are increased, especially when it was developed for some of the tokens, and they started increasing the gas fees. It wasn't truly developed for the BTC, for Bitcoin blockchain. It was developed for ERC tokens like Ethereum and Tron, and it's completely open source. And this one boggles my mind. It simply says that, listen, if you build your incredible company off of the smart contract, the coding for it is out there for the world to see. So if your company's doing awesome, then someone else can simply come, they can look at the code, copy the code, and open up a competing company. That just made no sense to me. And it made no sense to the developers anyway. So they said, listen, we don't like this. We don't like this. We don't like this. We love all of this. So let's do this. Let's develop a smarter contract. advanced proprietary tech, providing instant peer-to-peer payouts, utilizing algorithms of highly advanced crowdfunding infrastructure, all with no human interference. All of the pros, none of the cons. That's what we decided to do here at BitLocity. So what I want to do for you is simply explain to you quickly how it works for us in terms of the crowdfunding platform that we developed. And once we do that, you'll have the entire picture together. I'll show you how it all works. And then you will be able to get back to the person who invited you on and make a decision if you want to take it to the next step with this community. The first thing I want to do, though, is the legal liability notice. And I think this is critical because I don't want there to be any confusion out there about what BitLocity is and what BitLocity is not. So first, I want to tell you that the information that we're going to share with you in this presentation is not financial advice, nor does it represent a liability, nor does it represent a liability for the presenter or the company. As an independent member of BitLocity, we're going to share with you some of our personal experience regarding this unique opportunity. Now, here's the most important thing I want to get to for you, okay? Because I think this is critical. BitLocity is not an investment platform, okay? We're a community, and you're going to see that here in a moment, but we're not an investment platform, and we don't sell or market securities. If you're telling people, hey, if you want to get involved with BitLocity, you could just invest $50, please stop saying that. You're not investing anything, okay? I don't want you to do that because you're only going to get yourself in trouble. We're not going to get in trouble because we're clearly covering it right here that that's not who we are, but I don't want you to get yourself in trouble. It's a platform designed to empower people in the crypto market, specifically the Bitcoin right now, and your success will depend on your skills, efforts, and other market factors. And by the way, I'm going to show you some examples, but they're all used just to show you the power of the BitLocity compensation plan. So hopefully that's pretty clear to everyone. Now, we developed this peer-to-peer crowdfunding platform, and we wanted to do something better. As you're going to start to see with BitLocity, when we talk about accelerating to the speed of success, we're doing everything better than what we saw as the perceived competitors that were out there. Most of our competitors, when they developed their compensation plans, they wanted to be really good at one of three things. Everybody was targeting one of these three things because they figured if they could just hit on one, they would be awesome. So either they wanted to do something for the little guy, right? Because they knew there were a lot of people out there who had been on the internet for a long time, never really were able to accumulate any type of money, not very good maybe at recruiting, or got stuck in that thing where, hey, I knew some people, but every time I talked to them about a great new concept or idea, they said, wait until you make some money and then come back to me. So they got caught in the catch-22. So some companies decided to really focus on the little guy. Then there were other companies that said, listen, we're going to worry about that group in the middle, the masses. We're going to figure out a way to create maximum leverage for them if we can. And then the other company said, we're going to focus on leaders. If we can bring the leaders here, everything else will take care of itself. And all of these companies went out and tried to just do one of these. And I got to tell you, I mean, from my experience and really looking at them, many of them, even though they only focused on one of these things, they may have failed miserably, even focusing on the one. I want to show you what we did because we said one of them is not enough. We wanted to do all three of these things. So when you actually decide to actually become a part of this community, you're going to have the ability to actually get involved at these different rank levels, bronze all the way up to Crown Ambassador. Now, let me be clear. The bronze level up to the double diamond level, these are going to be standard levels. Anybody can get to these levels, and we're going to show you how they work here in a second. But as we start getting up to the blue diamond, ambassador, and crown ambassador, these are our VIP levels. I mean, the amount of value that we're going to put into these VIP levels, because again, it's for people who have done some extreme things. It's going to be like nothing that's ever been seen in the industry before. I sit there, I listen to what the developers are saying. I listen to some of the meetings that they've had with some of the different companies right now that want to partner up with us, and the different programs they want to put in place, et cetera, at this VIP levels. And it's just absolutely amazing. As people are getting to blue diamond, ambassador, and crown ambassador, their lives are going to be completely transformed just because of all the value that's going to be there just within BitLocity, not to mention as you get to these levels, the education you will have accumulated through all of these other levels, you're going to be in position to really capitalize off of what's happening with the blockchain. Now, a couple of things to remember about these levels. You can get to each level by simply making the appropriate contribution. So $25 contribution for the bronze level, $50 contribution for the silver level, et cetera, et cetera. You can get into as many levels as you want, but you have to get them all sequentially. So you can't just show up and say, hey, I'm just going to make a $100 contribution and be platinum. No, it would be $25 bronze, $50 silver, $75 gold, and then a $100 contribution to platinum. And then you would be at the platinum level. Now, the other thing I want you to remember is that in addition to these levels, right, and the contribution to get to these levels, there's a $25 yearly membership. That $25 yearly membership, again, we're going to keep adding more and more value in there. But just to give you an example, when we talk about value, this mobile marketing app, I mean, this is mobile marketing that's been reinvented. We put this together for you as you actually come into BitLocity. You get a free version of this mobile marketing app, and that's going to be included in the $25. There's another version that you can even buy up to, but I think you'll see that the one that we've put in for free, it's incredible. It gives you a lot of flexibility and a lot of ability to go out there and really explode your BitLocity community by actually going out there and simply sharing the tools that are provided forth for you with the mobile marketing app. Now, the other thing I want you to understand is that as you go through each one of those levels, each contribution you make, it's going to open up a whole new part of our digital platform. So with every package upgrade, you're going to receive a specific course to educate you on how to monetize the crypto and blockchain world. So as you're going up through levels and gaining more leverage in the community financially, you're also gaining much more knowledge. Remember our goal here, the knowledge and the capital for you to capitalize on this $1.76 trillion tsunami of wealth that's coming through from blockchain technology. That is how we are connected to the BitLocity Academy. The higher you go up, the better, the more knowledge you get, the more you're prepared, and the more you're capitalized to be able to go out there and engage. So let's go through the quick pieces of this so you can see how we took care of the little guy, how we created it, and we're actually going to show it to you step by step, the little guy, the leverage for the masses, and then the leadership, and then we're going to actually wrap this up. So first, we're going to start with the $25 and $50 levels. The $25 and $50 levels of our super aggressive compensation plan are going to be in what we call the global infinity line. And I want to show you how this works, because I think when you really get it, you understand why we say this is the best thing that's ever been created for the internet in terms of really helping people who may have never had an opportunity before really be in position to take an opportunity. So when you get started with us, right, you're going to have the ability to say, hey, I want to come and remember, and I want to start at that $25 level, or I want to come in at the $25 and $50 level, or several levels above. But just for the purpose of this example, I'm just going to show you the $25 level. But remember, every rule that I tell you that applies here, it applies for both $25 and $50. Both of those lines are going to be driven by our global infinity line. So you get started with this, right? And you actually drop in your $25 contribution. Right away, you're going to be entered into this global infinity line. It's one straight line system. The only thing that determines where you enter at in the global infinity line is a timestamp. That's it. It has nothing to do with who actually referred you to our community. It has nothing to do with how many people that you're going to refer, whether you're a leader or a superstar. It has nothing to do with any of that. It is a pure level playing field. It's just based off of the timestamp. You were rewarded for acting fast. That's it. So if you got started at 12:01 a.m. and 1/4 of a second, you might drop in here. And if at 12:01 a.m. and 1/2 of a second, someone on the other side of the world who doesn't speak the same language you do, who doesn't look like you, doesn't understand you, doesn't have the same, nothing, doesn't matter, that you'll never meet before, they're going to drop right behind you, and so on and so on and so on. One straight line around the entire globe. Think about that for a second. The way the algorithm works is simply this. Two of the people that are behind you, their $25 contributions are going to go to you. And this is what's going to happen. One of those contributions is going to go directly to your Bitcoin wallet. Okay, so you pay $25, you contribute $25 to get here. One of those $25 contributions is going to make you whole. You will have gotten your $25 contribution back. The other $25 contribution, we don't keep it. It's still going to be with you, and it's going to allow you to circle back around to the back of the line with a new $25 contribution. That's the only way to get into this line, is with a $25 contribution. So it's basically the fuel to allow you to re-enter into the line, and then that's going to go forward based off of who the algorithm says it goes to, and it's going to go to someone else in front of you in the line, right? Now, here's the great thing. The second that you actually go back into that line, remember, it's a timestamp on you, and more people are dropping right back in or circling right back around, and you can complete that process again, thus actually getting another $25 contribution to your wallet and another $25 to buy you back into the line. And that can happen over and over and over and over and over again, even if you have actually personally never referred anyone. One global straight line. Position is determined by timestamp and timestamp only, gives you the ability to get unlimited $25 and $50 contributions. Remember, I'm showing you the $25, but this is for the $25 and the $50 levels. And there's no recruiting required to get paid in this global infinity line. This is incredible. There's never been anything like this done in a system like we've put together. And this is just the beginning. So remember, Global Infinity Line is how we're going to take care of at the very beginning for the $25 and $50 levels. Now, the next part of our compensation plan, our super aggressive compensation plan, dual-sided maximum leverage plan. And you're going to follow this. I'm going to go through it slowly for you to make sure you get it all. But this is where it gets exciting. This is once we get up to the $75 level or higher. So we're going to have two parts of this. That's why we call it the dual-sided plan. On the left side, we got our leverage builder unilevel. I'm going to explain that, tell you in a moment. I know everybody doesn't understand maybe what a unilevel is. That's okay. And on the other side, we got our 1x3 speed matrix. Going to explain that to you as well. But let's take it piece by piece. With the leverage builder unilevel, that's you with all of your personal referrals placed front line to you. It's unlimited width, okay? So whether you refer one person or 10,000 people or 1 million people, they'll all be front line to you. You could have 1 million different spots or legs or whatever you want to call it, okay? Now, all of the contributions in the unilevel are yours to keep. This is pretty exciting. This is regardless of how large the contribution is or what package level you are at the time that the contribution comes in. None of that is going to prevent you from getting the contributions in your unilevel. So that's pretty exciting. The only exception is your 3rd and 10th referrals. Okay, for your 3rd and 10th referrals, their unilevel contributions, only unilevel, right? But their unilevel contributions will pass up to your sponsor. Okay, keep in mind, contributions pass up, not people. The reason why this is awesome is because the contributions of all of your personal referrals, you are going to get their 3rd and 10th referrals pass ups coming to you. Right? So I know that's a lot of words. Let's show it to you graphically. So this is you, right? And let's say again that you went out and you got, okay, you remember your 3rd person, that's a pass up to your sponsor, right? And then you got all these others, right? These other referrals, and then you had a 10th who was a pass up to your sponsor, and we'll stop there. Remember, this could go on forever. This could be 11, 1100, 11,000, doesn't matter. Only the 3rd and the 10th would ever be the pass ups in terms of their unilevel contributions, right? Well, remember, the great thing about this is that you're actually going to get to keep 100% of all of what comes in for position 1, position 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. The 3rd and the 10th will pass it to your sponsor. But on top of that, right, you also get this. Remember, each one of them is going to potentially have a 3rd and 10th referral, and all of those contributions will pass up to you. That's why we love this pass up concept, because it allows us to create maximum leverage. Yes, you are passing up 2, but in this particular example, you are having 20 pulled up to you, right? And the best part is once you add an 11th referral, 12th referral, you'll never have another pass up again. So every single referral that you add from this point on is potentially 3 streams of income for you. The person you add and their 3rd and 10th referrals as well. So as you keep adding, you keep creating more and more leverage in this part of our system in the leverage builder unilevel. Now, the unique speed matrix is going to be slightly different. The matrix is your position with 3 open positions front line to you. The first 2 are instantly paid to your wallet. So any contributions coming in to the first 2 positions, 100% of those contributions are paid to your wallet. The 3rd position, once again, is a pass up. But here, when it passes up, it cycles you. That means you'll open a brand new matrix at the same level with 3 open positions, and you get to start all over again. Now, each package that you purchase from the $75 level all the way up to the $100,000 VIP level will give you a matrix at that level. You can purchase as many packages at a time as you want, but they must be purchased in order. I told you that earlier, and here's the big one. Please pay attention to this. You can only receive contributions from the levels that you have already purchased. That's a big, important thing for your strategy. You want to stay ahead of what's happening in your team so you're not missing any type of contribution. And all of the passive from your personal referrals matrices will go to you as long as you are qualified at that package level. Again, I'll show you that in a second, but you want to stay ahead of what's going on. So this is your matrix. First two positions paid directly to you. Third goes up to your sponsor, and it cycles you. Once you cycle, you get a brand new matrix, open again with 3 empty spots, and you can keep going through this process again and again. So let's say that you were looking at this right now and you said, listen, I want to get started, and I want to get started at this amber level right here. Okay. Because again, I know I don't have to start it. I can go and get as many levels as I want. It basically comes down to what level of contribution can I actually afford right now? Well, if you did that, remember, the first 2 levels are actually governed by our infinity line. So your bronze and your silver, you'd have both of those levels. You'd have the global infinity line happening for you, unlimited contributions of $25 and $50 that you could go through over and over and over again. It'd be awesome for you. But the gold, platinum, pearl, and amber levels, well, that's going to give you 4 matrices: a gold matrix, platinum, pearl, and amber matrix. Here's what that means. It means that anybody that's actually coming to your team, any contributions they're making at the gold, platinum, pearl, amber level, you are now in position to benefit directly from those contributions. However, what it also means is that if you were to stay at the amber level and somebody in your team actually made a ruby level contribution, you wouldn't be able to earn off of that in the matrix because you don't have a ruby level matrix. So you're going to want to continue to use some of the contributions you're receiving to keep upgrading yourself so you stay ahead of your team and you can get maximum leverage. Oh, by the way, as you're also going and upgrading to these levels, you're getting more and more education, which is going to actually put you in a better position to take advantage of what's happening. Now, the leadership top recruiter pool, and then we're going to wrap up. Okay. This is developed to attract and reward the best leaders on the planet. Here's what we're going to do. Each calendar month, the top 10 recruiters in BitLocity will split a pool of Bitcoin that is funded by every single upgrade worldwide of $75 or higher. Why $75 or higher? Because 25 and 50, global infinity line. But starting at the $75 level, here's what we're going to do. From the $75 through the $100,000 levels, we're going to have a $10 profit and promotion fee deducted, right? $5 will fund research and development that the developers are doing so they can continue to launch more and more educational products, and also for the platform. Also, it's going to help support infrastructure and future promotions that they're going to run. And $5 will fund the leadership top recruiter pool. So $5 of every upgrade in the entire world is going to go into this top recruiter pool and be split with 10 people. Now, here's the best part. Each time the pool is paid, so end of the month comes, pool gets paid out on the first of the following month, right? The recruiter numbers are set back to 0. That means a person who's the top recruiter this month, 500 recruits this month. Next month comes along, the first of the month, February 1, I guess in this case, this example, he would be back to 0 just like everyone else. So if he wanted to be a top recruiter again, he would have to go do it all again. This means it's a level playing field every single month. Every single month, everyone has an equal chance to be in the pool. Now, the way that the pool is divvied up, the first number 1 recruiter is going to get 20% of the pool, 2 and 3 of 15%, 4 through 6, 10%, and 7 through 10 is going to get 5%. So even within the top recruiter pool, they're still going to want to compete because it can mean a larger share of the pool. So just imagine 1 month, right? Remember, we're on track to probably hit about 70,000 pre-registrants tomorrow. 70,000 people by tomorrow will have signed up here for what's happening in BitLocity in about 3.5 weeks. It's insane. I mean, that type of growth is absolutely insane. But just imagine for a moment that in 1 month, there are 10,000 upgrades, which you can understand that this is a very conservative number. When I actually put this number, when we were actually creating this PowerPoint, I didn't realize just how low 10,000 upgrades really was compared to the amount of people that are registering. But 10,000 upgrades, well, at $5 per upgrade going into the pool, that would be $50,000 in Bitcoin to be split amongst these 10 people. $50,000 in Bitcoin. So at that rate, that would mean that these bottom 4 positions, 7 through 10, they're going to get $2,500 each, right? These next 3 are going to get $5,000 each. The next 2 are going to get $7,500 each extra. Remember, this is on top of everything else that they've already gotten from contributions from what's happening within their own communities, right? This is now a way for them to leverage and benefit from the entire global community of BitLocity as a whole. Number 1, we get $10,000 of an extra contribution of Bitcoin from the entire global community of BitLocity as a whole. This is absolutely incredible. And remember, here's the best part. Because of this, this is going to attract the very best leaders in the entire world. The very best leaders with the biggest databases, with all the experience and all the knowledge and the know-how, they're going to want to come here. Why does that benefit you? If you're not one of them, why should you care about that? Here's why. Because as they're coming here and they're actually wanting to be a part of this top 10 leadership recruiting pool, they're recruiting thousands and thousands and thousands of people every single month into BitLocity. All of those thousands of people, they are feeding the global infinity lines, and they're forcing more and more upgrade traffic throughout the community, thus actually being duplicated over and over and over again. So they will actually be feeding the entire machine. So even if you're not a top recruiter in the beginning, you still benefit from what the top recruiters are doing. And as you benefit more and more and you build up your success in the community and you're able to share that story with others throughout social media, or throughout the internet, some other way, or face-to-face, that's going to actually give you the potential to become a top recruiter in the future as more and more people are inspired by your story. So it's a cyclical nature, this perpetual cycle of success that's happening within the BitLocity community. Finally, I just want to show you how this works together. So you see it, so you understand exactly visually what's going on and why people are so excited about what's happening here with BitLocity. So let's say that you have actually worked your way up to the emerald level in BitLocity. That's the $2,000 contribution level. And now, right, you've got your, you got your own. We're going to just show you your 10 frontline people that you've actually gotten and referred here into your unilevel, and you've got your emerald level speed matrix. Okay. And now all of a sudden, your people decide that they want to start actually putting in the $2,000 contribution as well, so they can gain more leverage and gain more knowledge. So your first person goes out and actually says, hey, I'm going to do it. So they actually put in their $2,000 worth of Bitcoin as the contribution. $10 comes out for the profit and promotion fee, so it leaves $1,990. And our system instantaneously, I mean, in a matter of a quarter of a second, it's going to split it. $995 into your unilevel and $995 worth of Bitcoin into your speed matrix, the appropriate speed matrix, which is your emerald matrix. Here's where it gets exciting. That first person does it. That $995 goes here. That's 100% yours. Remember that, 100%. The $995 over here is 100% yours. So you've earned the entire $1,990 of that contribution. Congratulations to you. That's an awesome moment for you when that happens. Second person does it. You get the whole $995 here, the whole $995 here again. Third person, remember, over here, that's a pass up to your sponsor. Over here, that's a pass up as well. But here's what it does for you. Over here, it cycles you and it gives you a brand new emerald matrix that's wide open with 3 additional spots. And this process goes on and on and on. So when the fourth person does it, that's the fourth person is here, 995. That's the first spot in your brand new matrix, 985, all yours, you get 100% of it. Fifth person, you're getting 100% of that. And at the sixth person, it's 100% of it up here, but down here, it falls into the third position again. That goes up to your sponsor, cycles you again, and it keeps going on and on. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. And this is just going to keep going, right? But where it gets more exciting is, remember, at the same exact time that this is happening, you've got other people that are actually maybe upgrading to different matrix levels that you're at. So you've got multiple things happening at the same exact time going on, all being tracked by our incredible technology that's actually on the blockchain, and it's shooting Bitcoin at you from multiple different directions all day. It never stops. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's tracking all this. So no matter what's happening anywhere around the world, doesn't matter about time zones or anything, there's Bitcoin that is firing directly peer-to-peer into your Bitcoin wallet over and over and over and over again because of all of the contributions that are coming in from around the world into this community. This is why people are so excited about what's happening here with BitLocity. So do we have something for the little guy? Yeah, that $25 and $50 global infinity line, that's going to empower anyone who wants to get started with us to have the ability, again, unlimited $25 and $50 contributions, which can not only build their story, right, can put them into a better position where they can actually start upgrading themselves, but also can go around and give them the ability to even start developing a team. Now they can actually show the success of the model. Maximum leverage for the masses. Listen, I just showed you that example, the dual side max leverage plan. We don't even have to talk about that. And something for the leaders, I'm telling you, that leadership top recruiter pool, that's going to be the #1 story throughout all of 2021. Everybody's going to be talking about about, why is it that so many leaders are joining BitLocity? Well, because they're rewarding them like no other community has ever done before in history. That's why they're going to want to be there. This is the thing that everybody's going to want to try to compete against, and they're going to find competition is just not going to work. So listen, if you like what you see, you might be wondering how to get started. And somebody probably told you, hey, we're in the middle of a pre-launch. You're going to be launching here shortly, though, very shortly, in fact. So here's what you want to do right now. Get back to the person who invited you to take a look at this webinar and ask for the unique sign-up link. We've been actually giving people an opportunity to pre-build for free, right? So they've got a sign-up link. They can send it to you. You can go through that link, and you can go through a very, very simple sign-up process. When you do that, it's going to actually give you your own sign-up link, and you're going to have your own back office, temporary back office, where you can start building your team. I want to stress, this is a temporary back office because right now we're in the middle of a free launch and a pre-sign-up process, right? So people have said, hey, man, look at my back office. It looks cool, but I don't see a place for my commissions. Well, everybody's signing up for free right now. There's no commissions. So you don't need that, right? So, oh, I don't see a place to put in my wallet. Well, again, everybody's signing up for free. So there's no wallet transactions. This was just done to give you a hub so that you could send people somewhere and you could actually start building your free genealogy. However, very shortly, soon, we're going to actually be giving people the marching orders for what's going to happen. And what's going to happen is when we're ready to get started, we're going to hit a button and we're going to transfer your entire genealogy and your information from a temporary back office to the permanent back office with all the bells and whistles. And at that point, you're going to be able to hook in your wallet. You're going to be able to set yourself up. You're going to be able to do a lot more things than you can do in the temporary back office. So get ready for that. And you want to go to bitlocity.info and join our corporate Telegram group so you can understand when this is going to happen, because you don't want to miss this. This is going to be time sensitive, and you want to make sure you're putting yourself in position. The other thing you're going to want to do, and I know there's been a lot of training about this, but you're going to want to go out and get a crypto wallet that accepts Bitcoin. If you don't have one, go get one tonight. Don't wait, or this morning, because I know some of you are on the other side of the world. Don't wait. The moment that this is over, go get yourself a cryptocurrency wallet that accepts Bitcoin. We know a lot of people that we've actually talked to, they seem to prefer blockchain.com. It's very easy to set up. It takes them less than a minute to actually get set up, and they know that it accepts Bitcoin. But again, find a wallet that accepts Bitcoin and just open it up so you have it. And then go through the process of funding that wallet. You want to get at least enough Bitcoin in there to cover the position that you're thinking about actually starting at. So whatever the contribution levels are. So if you decide you want to actually, I want to get up to the platinum level, you're going to need $25 plus $50 worth of Bitcoin, plus $75 plus $100 worth of Bitcoin, plus your $25 membership. And then any sort of transaction fees that you think you might incur, you want to make sure that's in a wallet sitting there. So when we say it's time to go, you're not trying to figure it out then. Figure that out now, right? And if you don't understand how to do it, you can get back to the person who invited you. They can show you how to do it. Figure it out now. So when it's time to go, you're prepared to just hook your wallet in, make your contributions, and start the process immediately. Get yourself early into that global infinity line and start taking advantage of everything that's happening around the entire world. Because I promise you this, we're going to help a lot of people get to those VIP levels, that crown ambassador dream lifestyle they've been looking for. But the best part is that is just from what's going to happen here from our crowdfunding platform within BitLocity. What we also believe is that the people who literally go through this entire process, the people who get to the crown ambassador level in terms of what they've been able to earn from contributions, but also in terms of knowledge they've accumulated by going through our BitLocity Academy, those people will become some of the largest players over the next decade in the entire blockchain community. And those people will be the people who will benefit the greatest from what's happening around the world. So with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for actually being here. Get back to the person who invited you on to get your questions answered. And with that being said, I want to thank you. I want to tell you it was a pleasure being here with you, and I look forward to working with you in the near future.